They say the silence of the night hides secrets. But what if silence is just the pause between two laughs? And what if the last laugh never ends? In 1987, in the isolated town of Oak Haven, something peculiar began to happen. It wasn't murders or mysterious disappearances. It was sound, laughter. It started low, almost imperceptible, coming from the most unusual places: a dead-end alley, an abandoned attic, even the local cemetery. At first, no one paid attention. Kids playing, the wind. But the laughter continued. Always at night, always alone. Sarah Miller, a young librarian, was the first to feel something was seriously wrong. She lived alone, and for weeks she heard laughter coming from her garden. It wasn't joyful laughter, it was mocking, as if something was enjoying her fear. She tried to ignore it, locked her windows, turned up the TV. But the laughter persisted, seeming to get closer each night. One night, she heard the laughter inside the house, and it wasn't from downstairs. It was from the next room.
By then, other Oak Haven residents began reporting the same thing. Old Farmer Peterson swore the laughter came from the empty barn. Mrs. Gable, a reclusive, elderly woman, said the childish, scoffing voices echoed in her basement, even with no children around. A silent panic began to grip the town. A group of teenagers, curious and reckless, decided to investigate. They ventured into the old Rosewood Orphanage, abandoned for decades, a place where tragedy had already struck. It was said the most intense laughter came from there. Armed with flashlights and forced courage, they went inside. The smell of mold and despair filled the air. Inside, the laughter was almost deafening. It came from everywhere, bouncing off the walls, up and down the stairs. And then they found it. It wasn't recorded laughter. It wasn't an echo. On the wall, written in what looked like dried blood, was a phrase: "The last laugh never ends." And just below it, hundreds of scribbles of faces with mouths open in laughter. They were small, grotesque, and seemed to move, as if each line was a laugh frozen in time.
If this story gave you chills, let us know in the comments below what sound scares you the most in the dead of night. Your answer might be the inspiration for the next Nightmare Chronicle. The teenagers fled the orphanage in a panic, but the laughter, it followed them. It never stopped. They heard it in their homes, in their dreams. Oak Haven was being consumed by the sound. Residents began to isolate themselves, slowly going insane with the incessant laughter. Sarah Miller was found in her bed, eyes wide open, with a distorted, forced smile on her face, as if she was trying to laugh along but couldn't. The laughter echoed, but it wasn't hers. The truth, however, was far darker than any legend. There was no ghost, no demon, or an ancient entity. The laughter didn't come from outside. It came from within. Each night, as people desperately tried to ignore the sound, they were unknowingly internalizing it. It wasn't the laughs that haunted people. The people became the laughs. The town of Oak Haven is now silent, but if you dare to visit it at night, pay attention. In the oppressive silence, you might hear it, a distant echo, the last laugh, and perhaps it's waiting for you.